Nobody talks about this side of the luxury market. 10 years ago, these were $60,000 to $100,000 status symbols. Today, some of them are sitting between $8,000 and $20,000 on the North American market. That's a 90% collapse for cars that still ride better than most brand new crossovers. But here's the catch: when luxury cars fall this hard, they either become financial disasters or absolute gold mines. If you know what to look for and what to avoid, these 5 are steals right now. When you stumble on a 2010 to 2013 Mercedes-Benz S-Class W221 priced like a mid-tier commuter car, your brain naturally does a double take. This used flagship sedan originally stickered well north of $80,000, and nicely optioned examples easily pushed towards 6 figures when new. Today, you'll find clean listings hovering between $8,000 and $15,000, sometimes dipping even lower depending on mileage and condition. That's close to a 90% depreciation curve, and that kind of drop almost never happens without a reason. Under the hood, most buyers gravitate toward the 5.5-liter V8, producing roughly 380 horsepower paired to a smooth 7-speed automatic transmission. In the real world, expect around 14 miles per gallon in the city and 22 on the highway. Not economical, but predictable for a full-size luxury sedan weighing well over 2 tons. What you get in return is vault-like ride quality, air suspension that still glides over broken pavement, and cabin insulation that embarrasses many new cars in the $30,000 to $40,000 range. Now, here's where buyers mess up. They see the price and assume bargain. But this car was engineered with flagship money. Air suspension components, control modules, cooling system parts, none of that got cheaper just because the resale value collapsed. If the previous owner skipped maintenance even once or twice, you'll feel it. Always check service history. Scan for suspension warnings. Listen for compressor noise from the airmatic system. And this is exactly why I always tell people, if you're going out hunting older luxury cars, carry a portable tire repair kit, a compact air compressor, and a proper toolkit. These sedans are heavy, they rarely come with full-size spares, and being stranded because of a simple puncture defeats the whole smart buyer advantage. Here's the truth though, if you find one maintained properly, with documented service and no suspension sag, you're driving what was once an executive flagship for the price of a used economy crossover. That's not reckless, that's calculated. And if you think that's dramatic depreciation, wait until you see what happened to the next one. The 2012 to 2016 Hyundai Equus was Hyundai's quiet attempt at building a full-blown flagship. Brand new, these carried window stickers between roughly $55,000 and $65,000, depending on trim. Fast forward to today, and you'll see clean examples trading hands between $7,000 and $14,000. That's luxury sedan money dropping into used, compact SUV territory. Pop the hood and you'll find a 5.0-liter V8 pushing about 429 horsepower, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's rear-wheel drive, smooth, and surprisingly strong in the mid-range. Real-world fuel economy sits around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 23 on the highway, very similar to the S-Class, but with a simpler ownership story overall. Here's what makes the Equus interesting. Hyundai overbuilt it to prove a point. Soft leather, reclining rear seats, adaptive suspension, a cabin that stays whisper quiet at highway speeds. The ride is cushioned, almost old-school Lexus-like. And because it doesn't wear a German badge, resale collapsed harder than it probably deserved. Now the catch. These cars are dependable when maintained, but neglect shows quickly. Check for air suspension function on ultimate trims. Test every electronic feature. Look closely at maintenance records for cooling, system service, and transmission fluid changes. The drivetrain itself is generally robust, but deferred maintenance is what kills value here. Buyer mistake to avoid? Assuming it's cheap Hyundai maintenance, this was engineered to compete with luxury brands. Parts pricing reflects that reality. It's not outrageous, but it's not economy car cheap either. And again, if you're shopping cars in this price bracket, keep a portable tire repair kit and compact air compressor in the trunk. Big luxury sedans, low-profile tires, no spare. You don't want your test drive ending on the shoulder because you weren't prepared. A solid toolkit also helps when checking battery condition or pulling engine covers during inspection. For someone who wants V8 smoothness without German-level repair anxiety, this is a sleeper. Depreciation hit it harder than reliability ever did. But if you think quiet luxury from Korea is underrated, wait until you see what Detroit did when it tried to reinvent executive comfort. If this is already changing how you look at the used market, hit the like button. It tells YouTube this kind of honest breakdown actually matters. Also, drop your city in the comments and check the selected products. Here's something most buyers get wrong about Cadillac's big sedans. They assume badge equals outdated. That assumption is exactly why the 2013 to 2018 Cadillac XTS is sitting in bargain territory. When new, depending on trim and options, these cars pushed into the mid-$40,000 range and could climb past $55,000. Today, you'll regularly see clean examples advertised between $6,000 and $12,000. That's an enormous drop for a full-size American luxury sedan with modern tech and a very comfortable ride. Under the hood, most XTS models came with a 3.6-liter V6 producing about 304 horsepower, paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Front-wheel drive was standard, all-wheel drive optional. Real-world fuel economy lands around 18 miles per gallon in the city and 28 on the highway, which actually makes this one of the more efficient options in today's list. Ownership experience is where this car shines. The ride is soft without feeling floaty. Highway cruising is quiet. Seats are wide and supportive. If you do long commutes or interstate travel, this car feels relaxed at speed. It was built for comfort first, not sportiness, and that's important to understand before buying. Now let's talk weak spots. Early CUE infotainment systems can lag or develop touchscreen issues. Suspension components, especially magnetic ride control on higher trims, should be inspected carefully. Listen for clunks, check for uneven tire wear, and always verify maintenance history, especially cooling, system service, and transmission fluid changes. Mechanic-style tip: during inspection, turn every electronic feature on. Heated seats, cooled seats, rear sunshade, parking sensors. Electrical glitches can be expensive if ignored. Ideal buyer: someone who wants space, comfort, reasonable fuel economy, and lower long-term risk than some European rivals without paying crossover prices. But what happens when luxury goes Japanese instead of American? That's where things get quietly interesting. Luxury buyers love to talk about reliability, until resale value tells a different story. That's where the 2015 to 2019 Infiniti Q70 quietly becomes one of the smartest plays in this segment. When new, depending on trim, these sedans lived in the $45,000 to $55,000 range. Not cheap, not entry-level. Today, clean rear-wheel drive examples can be found between $9,000 and $16,000, with higher mileage units dipping even lower. That's a dramatic correction for a car that, mechanically speaking, is one of the sturdier options here. Under the hood sits a 3.7-liter V6 producing around 330 horsepower, paired to a proven 7-speed automatic transmission. Rear-wheel drive standard, all-wheel drive available. Real-world fuel economy lands around 18 miles per gallon in the city and 26 on the highway. Not class-leading, but respectable for a naturally aspirated 6-cylinder sedan with this weight. Here's the engineering philosophy difference. Infiniti kept things simpler. No air suspension drama, no overcomplicated turbocharging, just a strong V6 that's been around long enough to prove itself. These engines routinely pass 200,000 miles when maintained properly. That's not theory, that's pattern recognition from mechanics who see them every week. Buyer mistake? Ignoring suspension wear. Control arm bushings and wheel bearings can start showing age. During a test drive, listen for humming at highway speeds. Feel for vibration under braking. These aren't deal breakers, they're negotiation tools. Interior quality is solid, though infotainment feels dated compared to newer systems. But if you care more about drivetrain longevity than touchscreen graphics, that trade-off actually works in your favor. Ideal buyer? Someone who wants rear-wheel drive balance, long-term durability, and fewer luxury experiment systems to worry about. It's not flashy, it's calculated. Now, if you think Infiniti's depreciation was harsh, wait until you see what happened to Kia's forgotten flagship. Nobody expected Kia to build a car like this, and almost nobody bought it when it was new. That's exactly why the 2015 to 2017 Kia K900 is sitting in absurd bargain territory today. When it launched, this was Kia's full-size flagship, with stickers ranging from roughly $50,000 to over $60,000 depending on configuration. Fast forward to the current market, and you'll find examples trading between $8,000 and $13,000. That's luxury car money collapsing into used compact sedan pricing. Under the hood, most early K900 models carried a 5.0-liter V8, making about 420 horsepower, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, sending power to the rear wheels. Later years also offered a 3.3-liter twin-turbo V6, but the naturally aspirated V8 is the one that feels properly old-school smooth. Real-world fuel economy sits around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 23 on the highway for the V8. Here's the surprising part. These cars are generally solid. Hyundai Kia engineering during this era focused heavily on durability. The drivetrain is not known for catastrophic issues. The ride quality is composed and quiet. Interior materials genuinely compete with more expensive European rivals from the same period. So why did values fall so hard? Brand perception. Buyers spending $60,000 wanted a German badge. When resale time came, demand simply wasn't there. Depreciation punished it, not necessarily reliability. Inspection advice? Check for full service records. Make sure all electronic features function properly. Pay attention to suspension feel over rough pavement. And confirm there are no cooling system leaks, basic but important. Neglect is the real enemy here, not flawed engineering. Ownership reality. Parts are not economy car cheap, even if the badge says Kia. Budget responsibly. That's how you keep it a gold mine instead of a headache. For the buyer who values substance over status, this might be the most underrated play on the entire list. Luxury doesn't always mean paying luxury money. Sometimes it means understanding why everyone else walked away. Here's the reality. Depreciation scares people away, but smart buyers lean in. Every car on this list lost status, not substance. If you inspect carefully, verify maintenance, and budget like an adult, these sedans deliver flagship comfort for economy car money. That window won't stay open forever. Buy right, stay prepared, and you're not just saving money, you're outsmarting the market. See you in the next one.